Miamians and listeners from around the world, welcome to another episode of Miami Global Net. Today we're talking education. Today's guest is Maria Padovan. She is a local leader in education, especially education that matters. She founded and led the former Metropolitan International School of Miami. I would know because for a brief time I taught martial arts there. She is a mother of 4 children and grandmother to 8. Maria is an innovator in the field of education. She came to the United States with less than $4 and now was recently recognized by the President of Italy with the Order of the Star of Italy for her dedication to education and Italian culture. We're going to get to know her and learn about what is needed for education today. Welcome to Miami Global Net Podcast, where we showcase the people and organizations that support Miami's international landscape. Learn from local business owners, startups, diplomats, and community leaders. Get to know the tools and services that are out there that help you invest and grow in South Florida. Miami is a true global city where one can live and do business with a global reach. So Maria, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you join us today. So let's get to know you a little bit. So I understand you came after the war, right, in Europe. Was it World War II, of course?
Yeah.
You traveled before coming to Miami, correct?
Yes. We went to Uruguay in 1949 in a boat, because in that moment the airlines didn't exist. So it took me almost a month from Genova to Montevideo.
See, it reminds me of my own grandfather when he went from Italy after the war to Venezuela before Peru. For how long were you in Uruguay?
Oh, many years. I was there until 1984. So it was like 30-something years. I was 42 years old. So let me see, 34 years. Yes, and I studied to be, in that moment in Uruguay, it was very, in 1920, the women could vote. And it was a country that really respects women. So my father always was telling me that the real wealth is the one that you have in your brain, your preparation, your studies, your values. And so I decided to study, and I went to the medical school for 1 year, 500 guys and 5 women. And we were bullying a lot. But it was a great experience. But I decided that was not my field. So I decided to become a biology teacher. And I was working 19 years old, teaching and studying, very unusual in Uruguay in that moment for a woman. So I was very proud of that. And my father, wise advisor.
Is that where you got your starting passion for education from your dad?
No, the education came because it was I love it, and I was 10 years old when I decided that I would have a school, like the Italian school in Montevideo, when the kids were happy. And because I went to another school that I hated for 10 years, and I did. I opened a school that was similar to the Italian school in Montevideo many years after, but that was Met, yes.
That was the Met.
Yes, where children were happy. I was very happy in the Italian school.
So your arrival to Miami, let's backtrack a little bit before the Met.
I arrived to Miami in 1984 because my father was dying, and I had to leave everything in one day. And I came to Miami. Of course, it was not the first time that I was in Miami, but my father was dying, and hopefully he lives another year to give me the green card and all the papers. And not only that, to enjoy him. And I stayed here, and my husband came to join me for a little period of time, and then he left, and I was alone with my 4 kids and the support of my family in Key Biscayne. And I started working at the restaurant because I didn't speak English. And that's another story about education. I have a horrible teacher that she was the English teacher and told me, "You, Padovan, never are going to speak English." And I said, "Okay, I'm never going to speak English," but I was speaking Italian, I was speaking Spanish, I was speaking French. So when I came here, the first thing that I did is sign up at the University of Miami to learn English, and I did in 6 months. And then my professor was he opened the international language in the continuing education at UM, and he offered me a job like an Italian and Spanish teacher at UM in continuing education. And that's why I started my career in education here in Miami.
And if I'm not mistaken, you started a program in UM?
Yes. I start the curriculum, and I become full-time in 1 year. And then I had the opportunity to open my own school at the Presbyterian Church at Brickell, and it was very successful. We have, I remember the day that we opened for registration, I have a long line of people, of students waiting. In that moment, it was only Berlitz, Lingual, and I, the language school. And that was great. So that gave me the opportunity to leave the other 3 jobs that I have and start dedicating to education for adults.
What are those three jobs? It's always interesting to see how people started out. You know, there's always those stories of people, I had these many jobs before I reached my success. Like, what were those 3?
Well, the first one was at Stefanos in Key Biscayne. I didn't speak English, but I was the hostess, and I met a lot of people, especially some American lady that gave me opened the door for me at the University of Miami. Then I have another job in a Swedish company, like a secretary, and I had to use. I learned how to use computers, and I learned how to run a business, and that was very good. I had 3 years of experience before I opened the language school, and without that experience, I would never be able to do it because I was only a teacher. So the business part, it was done from Caliber Engineering. That was the Swedish company that I was working for 3 years, and I was doing everything.
Must have absorbed a lot of information that helped you start the school.
Exactly, because everything that if I have to do the reconciliation, go to the accounting. If I have a $2 million in the bank to do something with that, go to the lawyer. I mean, and it was amazing how much I learned in 3 years. It was like I think the better that a university in business.
And how did it feel to come to Miami and start working in these jobs? And then did you kind of knew what you wanted to do there, or were you open to possibilities? I mean, it must be interesting times.
Listen, when are you surviving and you are a little smart, your brain is like a radar and you can feel it, you know. And Miami was full of opportunities. When I was working in the restaurant, somebody called from Berlitz and said, "There is somebody that speaks Italian that can be teaching for us." And I said, that's my opportunity. So I was working for Burleys, and I learned a lot about what they were doing that helped me a lot when I opened my school. So if you are open to the universe is helping you a lot.
It's one thing putting yourself out there. It's another thing actually having the sense to actually take the opportunities that are presented to you, right?
Exactly. And don't be afraid.
Which is one of the big challenges a lot of people go through, especially a lot of entrepreneurs, I would say, struggle with. It's easy sometimes to come up with the idea, right, of something, or I like to say the idea is 1%. The rest is execution. You need to take the risk. So before you opened the Met, you had a second school, right, after the Presbyterian language school.
At the Presbyterian at Brickell, I have in the second floor my language school. But in the first floor, they were running a preschool. And in that moment, I was a deacon of the Presbyterian in education. And the lady that was running the school left in 1 week. So I started running the preschool and learn about the business, but that belonged to the church. And after a while, I opened my school at Key Biscayne. That was International Christian School for 10 years. And the goal was that the kids would be happy and learning in their pace and languages, Italian and Spanish. And they have organic food. In that moment, it was difficult to put the organic food. People was a little resistant, but it was amazing. And after 10 years, I had to move, and I came back to the Brickell location for 5 years. And in the meantime, I was looking for my own space with a small business administration, and that's why I founded Met.
I've been at the Met. I've been at the Met. It's a great environment. The kids are definitely happy. And not only have I been there, but I also taught.
Yes, I know. That was so good.
I taught martial arts, by the way. It was part of the athletics program. That was a lot of fun. And the kids, the energy there is super fun. So diving into education, what is your perspective on education, your philosophy behind education?
Well, we are all different. We cannot teach all the children the same because we make some big mistakes. So in order for a teacher to teach, she needs to have a small classes so she can follow every child. It's different way to learn, the different way that they have to learn, the teamwork, the discovering, the hands-on. They make them they are the protagonist. I always say to my teacher, we are the directors, they are the actors. So we have to give guideline, and they are going to perform beautifully. And my teacher all my teachers are very special because they understand that. And they are following every child, and they're making them, when a child thinks that the people are listened, when a child understands that homework is not the amount of homework, but the quality of the homework, and they have done that material in the morning, and then they had to review 20 minutes in the afternoon, they feel great with themselves. And when a human being feels great with himself, or herself, you have a successful life. And that's exactly what we were doing. The kids that they are graduate from Met, when they go to a high school, they are happy, they are the leaders. I always say you are the leaders of yourself. You don't need to be the leader of the world, but you need to be the leader of yourselves. When you have a problem, you can resolve the problem, you can look for the answer, but you are in charge of yourself. And when you say yes and no, do it for yourself, not because you have other people that doing things. So the kids understand, and it's amazing to see them growing and ready to go to high school. And I am so happy all the success that we have done with our alumni. So, I mean, the key in education is, educare is to take something out for inside. And you take the talents of the children. Each of them are different. I am happy teaching, but you are not happy. You are happy teaching maybe too, but because you are a good teacher, I know that.
Thank
but
you.
It's not your call. Maybe your call is another thing, you know. And if we don't follow our heart, we are not be happy. When you are happy with yourself, the sky is the limit. If you follow your talent, if you follow your values, if you don't give up, and if you are going to reach your dreams for sure.
Well, I can tell you right now that in my education, nobody told me that I could be the leader of my own life. that came down more closer to now. But I can definitely see, sharing that with kids earlier in their lives, making that perspective a significant value. I mean, if I see value now, imagine if I would have received that value earlier.
But I mean, that's why I said we cannot have an education that everybody's the same and everybody thinks the same and everybody's a sheep. Doesn't make any sense. One girl can be happy being a ballerina, the other can be happy being a doctor. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's something good. That's why I hate tests.
So are you saying that there's not a lot of testing in med?
No, the test, the messy test, that in reality they don't. Yes, it's okay, but the kids are massive. There is no difference in whether they can know or not. So we never start a test until 4th grade at Met, and then it's fine. It's okay. It's a tool, but it's only a tool. It's not the main thing.
You said something that actually was very interesting. You said that teaching was to bring something out. I think I don't think that's a normal way of looking at it. I mean, at least maybe it's been a misconception that I've had. But I like what you said about what teaching was. Can you expand on that a little bit, or?
Well, educare in Latin, it means to bring something outside. And in the first in the Greek, they were teaching outside. They were walking around. They didn't need to be in a classroom, and they were looking in their pupil what was the talent that they can give to the world, and that is educare. That's why I said we are the directors and they are the actors. We can give to kids with hands-on. You can teach a butterfly, and you can say, this is a butterfly. It has three legs and blah, blah, blah. Or you can say, look at this, what we found here. How many parts of the body? How many legs? How many wings? It's coming from where? And then they are making up the discovering. They're never going to forget a butterfly. But if you give everything done, butterfly is this and this, and you start talking and talking and talking and talking. After 5 minutes, nobody listened to you.
So it's like a discovery, like an education through discovery.
And we call hands-on.
Hands-on.
Yes.
Hands-on will be a more technical term. You're correct.
Yeah, hands-on. I said mind's on.
Mind's on. I like it. I like that. Mind's on. It sounds like a slogan. It should be on a T-shirt.
Mind's on. I mean, we can qualify people for race, for ugly or beautiful, but I think that there is something that is the energy that we have around. And when people are peaceful, they have a good energy and they can learn and they can. But when you give a energy that is stress, nobody's happy. You understand?
Yeah.
So I am talking relationship on adults, but I can talk in a relationship in a classroom. So I have the ability to go to a classroom, open the door and see if everything was smoothly done or we have a problem.
Yeah.
And if we have a problem, I will talk with the teacher. So it's not only the teacher the problem. Sometimes you have a child that is hyper or has a problem, and you have to go and look and fix, try to understand what happened. So that's, for me, is education.
What do you think is one of the biggest challenges teachers face today?
Paperwork.
as in like homework, or
No. A teacher is like a butterfly. She has a heart to teach and she needs to fly. And if you start saying, no, you have to teach first of all the A, then the B, then the C, then the D, the butterfly is not flying anymore. But if you said to her, listen, you have to teach the butterfly. How you teach, I don't know, because you have 15 kids that is going to be in a different moment, and you have to do it in the best way. Make them discover a butterfly. So she doesn't have to do A, B, C. She needs to really put her heart with the student. It's like the director with the actors. The actors are different; they are not the same, and the way that you teach them, it depends on how they are in that moment. So I think that I thought maybe, I don't know, 200 times cell, but I was teaching the cell in different way according with the question that the kids were giving to me, as example.
Do you have a favorite subject to teach?
Well, I am a biology teacher, so biology is my subject. And languages, and I love to teach languages too.
Oh, okay. That's right. I mean, you opened two language schools. In your experience, what's the best way you found to motivate children to like learning?
Discovering, engage, and evolving education according with the kids.
So how do you incorporate the parents into the education, especially nowadays? How do parents play a role in the children's education?
Well, no, the parents are number one, the family number one, and we are welcome the families, and we have a PTO. But they can give us some there's some different moments. Like now in the world, we have the coronavirus, by example, is something that you have to incorporate in the education, but the parents are at home with them. So, I mean, we help parents too. We help to understand what we are doing. And there is parents that understand, and parents that they want another kind of education for the children. They are looking more, I don't know. I mean, this is an education more holistic. And we teach them yoga, mindfulness, because it's a powerful tool, and we have that for the parents too. And we have counseling with the parents, and the parents have some events. For Hey Rosano, it was my principal for 21 years. And she had a school in Haiti. So we teach compassion to the children to make that event, that is Solidarity Day, to help the school in Haiti. And it's amazing to see the whole year the kids bring some clothing, something for Haiti, and the children in Haiti send pictures to us, and we vice versa. And they love that. They love that passion and compassion too. And they understand they are children that they have everything, and there is other children they don't, and they want to help in that. And that is a value that is empathy, and is a value that is very important to understand for the future when they are grown up too. We are very lucky. We are very lucky in the United States. I mean, I feel myself that only in the United States a woman with 4 children could do what I have done, and I love this country, and I feel very American, even if I have an accent when I speak English.
Well, that's the beauty about this country, that, we have people from all over the world, and you could be American, accent or no accent, right? And you have definitely lived the American dream. You came to this country and you build something for yourself and for your family, and if there's a picture of the American dream out of the thousands, you definitely reached it.
Yes, but because the American people helped me a lot, and they were recognizing the values that I have and my talents. In other countries, I will not. This doesn't matter if you have the talent; they were not recognized. So with all my heart, I love this country. And I'm very thankful to the United States of America.
My next question is, what do you think of the phrase, "It takes a village to raise a child"? Have you heard it before?
Yes. Takes a village to raise. I would say, it takes a village of love. That's what I will add.
And going back to the parents, this is you mentioned the homework, right? You that the homework is done at the beginning of the day?
No. The homework we have when they are little, they have homework, a package for the whole week that they are doing in their own pace, and it's only 20 minutes maybe per day or less, but they are reviewing what they have done. It's not something new. Like some homeworks in some school are new material. We are reviewing what we have done in a week so the children can do it by themselves. Again, I want to have children independent. I want to have children happy with themselves. If a child has to be 2 hours doing homework that he doesn't understand, it's very frustrating, and her self-esteem is going to be very low. And the most important is the self-esteem in a human being too.
100%. And I'm sure the parents appreciate that the homework is a true review of the work. So it's a smooth support of what they learned, and they can spend more time doing fun things with their kids instead of trying to themselves also try to figure out how to do how to help their kid, right?
They are not teachers; they are parents.
Amen. Amen. I think a lot of schools should learn from you right now.
Well, if you don't lose the fee, if a child doesn't do the homework right, they don't have a grade. Our homework, they don't have a grade. They are accepted like something that the child has to do,
Okay.
but like a responsibility for a human being. But we don't grade them. But that's the main meaning of homework. I think that it's better that the parents spend quality time with the children than homework time with them.
I mean, I agree. I mean, if I had kids, I would definitely be thankful to you for your homework philosophy. What would you say it is the most satisfying part of what you've done with education?
It's seeing the students when they graduate in 8th grade that they can speak 3 languages. They are happy. They go to the best high school in town, and they are happy with themselves. That's for sure. That made me so happy and so proud.
Yeah, I'm sure I don't have to say it, but you're definitely making a lifelong impact in their lives.
Yes, so there is for some children they were a big impact, because we give scholarship too, and that is, this kid is amazing what they have ended in the best university and very good jobs. So I'm very proud of that. That's the meaning of education.
Let's see how we're doing on time. 28 minutes. That's not bad. I think 2 more questions and we should be good. What do you think?
Yeah, perfect. Not so long.
See. Let's see. Can I ask you questions about technology?
Yes.
Okay. How do you see technology integrating into the educational world? And is it ever going to be like too much technology? Because since we've been talking about a lot of hands-on, minds-on, how is there a balance there?
Well, the first thing that you have to teach is that the technology is a tool that we can use and that we need, but it's a tool. No technology is going to be running our life. We are running technology. You understand?
Agreed. Sometimes we depend on it too much to do things for us, and then we don't maybe dedicate as much time as we should on something, right? Is that?
No, it's not only that. There is games now. There is a lot of things that the kids at the end, they are losing their own personality for the technology. The technology in school is an amazing tool, but we use the technology, not the technology is using us. And that's what I said all the time. It's a tool, a powerful tool. But we are the owner of the technology, not the technology on us.
Amen to that. I have to ask now, what, as one of our concluding questions, what is a creme brulee for you?
That's creme brulee for me is the
way you and your husband met.
But we met many years ago. I was working for him in this Swedish company, but we were best friends. And the story is that we were meeting at the Continental Hotel restaurant, and our dessert was creme brulee, and every month we met each other and talk about our life and our things. Until 2006, that Roland retired, and then he came back and he proposed me to marry, and it's the best thing that happened in my life, and at all stage, because I was 64 when we got married. But we are happy and we are best friends. Amazing. So creme brulee is my happiness.
No, that's awesome. I had to ask because I know, obviously I know you a lot more. Ronald, I know from more of the whole permitted issue that we had with that driveway that he fixed. So I know him as a man like full of passion and entrepreneurship and wanting to get things done and wanting to fix things. And so that's the role that I know. And of course, the things that you've shared with me. So I had to ask so that we can get to know him a little bit.
Well, Roland is like always behind me and covering me in the business. For example, he was doing all the business part and then in admit before I had to do everything. So that gave me more opportunity to be more involved in the curriculums and what I really love.
How did it feel to be recognized with the president of Italy for your commitment to the Italian culture and education? Was that a surprise?
It was a surprise. I never thought to have that. And the funny thing that my brother was always telling me, when I said to my brother, he's 7 years older than me, and he's always looking the Italian. I can't believe it. You deserve it, but I can't believe it. So for me, I was very proud. But I think that for my parents, that they are not here, and for my brother, it was really, they were really proud of me, and to get this recognition. I mean, it's the most important thing that you can have from the Italian president, and I was proud, yes, and thankful. And I dedicate that to all the teachers, or my Italian teachers that were working hard with me, because you cannot do anything alone. You need a good team, people that are with you with love. You can have good intention, but you have to be surrounded for real good people to reach your goal. And that's what happened to me. I'm very fortunate in that.
I know you're right. A team is important.
Yes.
A team is very important. Maria, I don't want to take more of your time. I appreciate this time that you spent with us and sharing your story and your journey, from Italy to here, and all the amazing things you've done with education and your contributions to Miami, especially Miami. And I know there's more to come. I know there's more awesome things coming from Maria in the near future.
Well, I am thankful that you want to talk with me, and I am open to the universe, because if the universe has something else for me, I am open. If I not, maybe I write a book. I don't know. But at this moment, I can enjoy. No, I don't know. But for this important moment is to enjoy and to think what I have done and enjoy my family.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much.